All right, listeners, are you ready for this? Because today we are diving deep into a concept that's really kind of wild.
Oh, yeah.
It's this whole idea of bending reality. But before you think we've gone full sci-fi on you,
Right.
we're not talking about superpowers or, Matrix-style glitches or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're going to explore how our inner world shapes our experiences.
Our thoughts,
beliefs, exactly how those things might actually influence the reality that we experience.
Yeah. It's a fascinating idea.
It really is.
Has roots in ancient philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
And modern psychology.
Absolutely. And our source material today is a YouTube video with a rather, let's just say, ambitious title.
Okay.
It's called Instantly Bend Reality Using 33rd Degree Knowledge. Top 1% Secret. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like something you'd find in the back of a,
comic book.
Comic book, exactly.
Yeah.
But hey,
You gotta catch the eye.
Gotta catch the eye. So, maybe beyond that clickbaity title, there's some intriguing ideas worth exploring.
Right, exactly.
That's our mission today.
Right.
We're going to sift through the hype and see what nuggets of wisdom, if any, we can extract from this.
I love it.
So the video jumps right in with this idea of perception as a lens.
Okay.
It argues that we're not just passively observing the world.
Right.
We're actively creating it through how we interpret things. And it even goes so far as to suggest that the so-called top 1%,
Interesting.
they see possibilities and potential outcomes,
Okay.
not just what's right in front of them.
I see.
So what do you think about that? Is there any truth to this idea that we're not just seeing the world, but we're actually creating it through our perception?
Well, cognitive science actually suggests that there's a lot more to perception than meets the eye.
Okay.
Our brains are constantly filtering information,
Right.
trying to make sense of the world
Right.
based on past experiences, beliefs, and expectations.
Right.
So that means that two people can witness the same event.
Yeah. And walk away with completely different interpretations.
So it's like we're all wearing these, invisible glasses
Yes.
that color how we see the world.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when the video talks about the top 1% seeing possibilities,
Yeah.
it might be alluding to the fact that successful people often have this knack for spotting opportunities that others miss. So you're not just looking at the surface,
No.
they're looking beyond the surface.
Right.
Anticipating trends, connecting the dots in ways that other people might not immediately see.
So it's not about having some kind of secret knowledge,
Right.
but it's a way of seeing the world,
A mindset.
a mindset that's open to those possibilities.
Exactly.
Okay, so now the video takes this even bolder leap,
Okay.
and it claims that our thoughts are like blueprints actually projecting our reality. It even brings up the concept of self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yeah.
So have you seen any evidence in your work that our dominant thoughts can actually influence our experiences? I have definitely seen how mindset can shape outcomes.
Okay.
This idea of self-fulfilling prophecies is well established in psychology.
Right.
If we believe something to be true about ourselves or the world,
Right.
we unconsciously might behave in ways that confirm that belief.
So if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm bad at public speaking,
Yes.
you might avoid opportunities to practice,
Exactly.
which only reinforces that initial belief.
Right. It becomes a self-perpetuating cycle.
Wow.
But of course, it's not as simple as, thinking yourself into a fortune
Right.
or a perfect life.
Right.
There are lots of factors at play.
Absolutely. But it's not just about denying the complexity of life,
Yeah.
but it's understanding that our thoughts aren't just these passive whispers in our heads.
Right.
They can actually drive our actions,
Yes.
our choices,
Yes.
and that can in turn influence our experiences.
It's like that old saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right.
Right, exactly. Okay, so we've covered perception, we've talked about thoughts. Now the video goes on to emphasize the power of beliefs,
Okay.
calling them the architects of our reality. And it even suggests that we can upgrade our beliefs, like software.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think about that? How do beliefs form in the first place? And can they really be changed?
Well, beliefs are often formed unconsciously
Okay.
through a combination of things, our upbringing, our culture,
Right.
our experiences, even the information that we absorb from our surroundings.
Ugh.
It's like building a house, brick by brick, layer by layer.
Yeah.
And yes, beliefs can absolutely be changed,
Okay.
but it takes effort
Right.
and a willingness to examine those foundational structures.
So if we want to bend reality
Yes.
in a positive direction, we might need to take a good hard look at our belief system
Absolutely.
and see if any of those bricks are wobbly or need replacing.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And that's what the video might be getting at with this upgrading analogy. The top 1% might be those who are constantly challenging their assumptions, questioning their beliefs, and actively seeking out new information.
So it's not about blindly believing anything.
No.
But being willing to examine what we're currently holding is true.
Right.
And see if it's still serving us or if it's time for some renovations.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah.
Now, the video gets even deeper by talking about identity.
Oh, okay.
It argues that our identity creates the boundaries of what's possible. And that embracing a new identity can actually change our outcomes.
Okay.
So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. The video suggests that we can step into a desired identity before we even have external proof.
Okay.
It's about embodying the qualities and actions of the person we want to become.
Okay.
And that can create a ripple effect in our reality.
So it's not about faking it till you make it.
Right.
But rather embodying the qualities that you aspire to.
Yes.
Almost like a dress rehearsal.
I love
for the role you want to play in life.
It's about aligning your internal world
with your desired external reality.
Wow.
Now, it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
It takes effort, consistency, and a willingness to embrace the challenges that come with any transformation.
Right. It's not wishing for a different reality.
Yeah.
But taking steps to become the person who embodies that reality.
Yes.
And that brings us to a concept that always makes me scratch my head a little bit.
Okay.
And that is time. The video calls time a construct that can be bent, stretched, and even collapsed by aligning our energy with the desired future.
Interesting.
So is there any scientific basis for this idea of time not being linear? I mean, we can't literally, slow down or speed up time, can we?
This is where we venture into more speculative territory.
Okay.
While classical physics views time as linear,
right.
Modern physics, particularly quantum mechanics, suggests a more fluid and complex understanding of time.
Okay.
Some theories even propose that the past, present, and future might exist simultaneously.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
But what about this idea of collapsing time?
Right.
How can we even wrap our heads around that?
Think of it less about literally manipulating time.
Okay.
And more about shifting our perception and actions to bring our desired future into the present moment.
So living as if
yes,
the future is already real.
Aligning our energy and actions with that vision.
So it's less about time travel.
Right.
And more about mental time travel.
Yes.
Using our imagination to create a compelling vision of the future.
Exactly.
That inspires us to act in the present.
It's about bridging the gap between where we are now and where we want to be.
I see.
By aligning our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with that desired reality.
It's all starting to come together.
Yeah.
It's not about denying the present.
Right.
But using our inner world to shape a future that feels more aligned with our aspirations.
Exactly.
But how do we balance this taking action with letting go of the need to control everything, which seems to be this recurring theme in the video?
That's a great question, and it leads us to the concept of aligned action.
Okay.
The video emphasizes taking action,
right,
but not from a place of desperation or force,
okay,
but from a place of certainty and trust.
So it's not about frantically paddling upstream.
Right.
But setting our sails.
Yes.
Trusting the wind to carry us in the right direction.
Beautifully said.
But how do we cultivate that sense of trust?
Right.
Especially when things feel uncertain or out of our control.
That's where the video's discussion of our relationship with the universe or a larger force comes in.
Okay.
It encourages us to align with this force, to co-create with it, rather than trying to force our will upon the world.
Now, before we go full-on mystical here,
right.
How can we interpret this in a grounded way without getting lost in the, cosmic woo-woo?
It might be about recognizing that we're not isolated individuals,
okay,
but we're part of a larger interconnected web.
Okay.
Our actions have ripple effects.
Right.
And sometimes the best outcomes arise from unexpected sources.
So it's about staying open to possibilities.
Yes.
Recognizing synchronicities and trusting that there's a wisdom at play that extends beyond our limited understanding.
Beautifully said.
So it's not about sitting back and passively waiting for the universe to deliver our desires on a silver platter.
No.
But about taking aligned action, listening to our intuition, and being open to opportunities that might appear from unexpected directions.
That's a great way to summarize it.
Yeah. It's about finding that sweet spot between effort and allowing.
Yes.
Between taking charge and surrendering to the flow of life.
It sounds like a delicate dance.
It does.
One that requires both intention and trust.
And speaking of trust, the video also emphasizes the importance of gratitude and presence.
Okay.
So how do these concepts fit into this overall framework of bending reality?
Those might be the most important ingredients of all.
Really?
Gratitude helps us shift our focus to the positive.
Okay.
Appreciating what we already have.
Right.
Which creates a more abundant and joyful experience. And presence or mindfulness allows us to connect with the present moment.
Okay.
Reducing stress and anxiety. And enabling us to respond to life's challenges with more clarity and composure.
So by cultivating gratitude and presence, we're essentially creating a more fertile inner landscape.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
For our desires to take root and flourish.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
It seems like this bending reality concept boils down to mastering our mindset.
Yes.
Taking aligned action and cultivating a sense of trust in this larger unfolding.
I agree.
But let's be honest, life isn't always smooth sailing.
That's true.
How do we deal with the inevitable curveballs and setbacks?
Right.
Can we really bend reality enough to avoid hardship or disappointment?
That's a crucial question, and one we'll delve into in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore how to navigate challenges, embrace the unexpected, and cultivate a mindset of resilience and adaptability.
All right, so stay tuned for that. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our exploration of bending reality. In the last part, we unpacked some pretty mind-bending concepts from that YouTube video.
Right.
Everything from perception to thoughts, beliefs, identity, and even the nature of time.
A lot to process.
A lot to process.
But I think beneath the kind of sensationalized language, there are some valuable insights.
Oh, absolutely.
That resonate with both ancient wisdom and modern psychology.
Right. And now let's shift gears.
Okay.
From the theoretical to the practical.
Okay.
How can we actually apply these ideas to our everyday lives?
Well, one of the key takeaways from the video was this idea of perception acting as a lens, shaping how we see the world.
Right.
A practical step could be to simply become more aware of our own biases and assumptions.
So instead of just reacting to things on autopilot, we should pause.
Take a breath.
Take a breath and ask ourselves,
is this really true?
Or is this just my perception?
Yeah.
Based on my past experiences or beliefs?
Precisely.
Okay.
That simple act of questioning can make a world of difference.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And this leads us to the next step, challenging our limiting beliefs.
Yes.
We talked about how beliefs can act as architects shaping our reality.
It really can.
So if we want to create positive change, we need to identify and dismantle any beliefs that are holding us back.
Absolutely.
I know I've definitely had moments where my own fears or doubts prevented me from taking risks or pursuing opportunities that could lead to amazing things.
We all have those moments.
Right.
The key is to become aware of those limiting beliefs and then actively work on reframing them.
Okay.
There are many techniques for this, from affirmations to visualization to working with a therapist or coach.
It's like those optical illusions.
Yes.
Where you see one image, but then when you shift your perspective, a completely different image emerges.
Exactly. Sometimes we need to shift our perspective.
Yeah. To see the alternative, more empowering possibility.
I like that. Now, the video also talked about stepping into a new identity.
Right.
How can we actually embody the qualities of the person we want to become?
This is where action comes in.
Okay.
It's not enough to simply think about being different.
Right.
We need to start acting in alignment with our desired identity.
So if we want to be more confident public speakers, for example, we might start by volunteering to present at team meetings.
Absolutely.
Or joining a Toastmasters group.
Precisely. It's about taking small, consistent steps that align with that aspirational identity.
Right.
We start embodying the qualities we admire.
Yeah.
Building our confidence and competence through experience.
Okay.
And remember, it's perfectly normal to feel a bit awkward or uncomfortable at first.
Sure.
Growth often takes us outside our comfort zones.
Embrace the awkwardness. I love that. Now let's talk about time.
Okay.
While I'm not sure I'm ready to embrace the idea of literally collapsing time,
I am intrigued by the concept of living as if the future is already real.
This is where visualization and mental rehearsal can be incredibly powerful tools.
Okay.
By vividly imagining ourselves already living our desired reality, we create a strong emotional connection to it.
So it's not about denying the present moment, but rather using our imagination to create this compelling vision of the future
Yes.
that pulls us forward.
That's a great way to put it. It's like setting a destination in our internal GPS and then allowing that vision to guide our present actions.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, the video also emphasized the importance of aligned action.
Yes.
Taking action not from a place of desperation or force, but from a place of certainty and trust.
Yeah.
But how do we cultivate that sense of certainty, especially when things are feeling uncertain or out of our control?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in doubt and fear.
It is.
Especially when we're facing setbacks or challenges.
Yeah, how do we cultivate that unshakable inner knowing?
That we're on the right track, even when the external world feels chaotic.
Exactly.
One powerful practice is to focus on our strengths and past successes.
Okay.
Reminding ourselves of times when we've overcome obstacles or achieved our goals can boost our confidence and help us stay focused on the positive.
It's like building a mental library of evidence that supports our belief in ourselves and our ability to navigate challenges.
Exactly.
So we can draw on those past experiences to fuel our confidence and resilience in the present.
Exactly. And this ties into the video's discussion of our relationship with the universe or larger force.
Right.
We talked about interpreting this in terms of intuition's synchronicity and being open to opportunities.
So how do you feel about that concept now?
I think
have your feelings changed at all?
I'm still a bit hesitant to fully embrace the universe language, but I do see the value in cultivating a sense of trust in a larger unfolding, recognizing that we're not always in control.
And sometimes the best things happen when we least expect them.
You know what? I think that's a really good point.
It's about recognizing that there's a wisdom at play that extends beyond our limited understanding.
Right.
It's about surrendering to the flow of life while still actively participating in shaping our reality.
And that brings us to the concepts of co-creation and surrender.
Yes.
Which the video emphasized as key principles for bending reality.
They are.
I can see how these concepts are interconnected.
Yes.
If we believe we're co-creating our reality with a larger force, whether we call it the universe, source energy, or something else, it naturally follows that we need to surrender some control and trust in the unfolding process.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Okay, good.
Surrender doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive.
Right.
It means letting go of the need to micromanage every detail.
Right.
And trusting that the universe or life itself might have a different, even better plan than what we originally envisioned.
It's about recognizing that we're part of this larger web of interconnectedness.
Absolutely.
And our actions have ripple effects beyond what we can immediately perceive.
Precisely. And this leads to the final principles. The video highlighted gratitude and presence.
Right.
How do these concepts fit into the overall framework of bending reality?
I think those might be the most important takeaways of all.
Really?
Yeah, gratitude and presence seem to be universal principles for well-being and personal growth, regardless of whether we believe in mystical forces or not.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Gratitude helps us shift our focus to the positive, appreciating what we already have, which creates a more abundant and joyful experience.
And presence or mindfulness allows us to connect with the present moment, reducing stress and anxiety, and enabling us to respond to life's challenges with more clarity and composure.
You got it.
So by cultivating gratitude and presence, we're essentially creating an internal environment that is more receptive to positive experiences and outcomes.
That's a great way to put it. It's about creating an inner landscape that is fertile for growth, abundance, and joy.
Now, as much as we might like to believe we can bend reality to avoid all hardship, life inevitably throws us curveballs.
That's true.
How do we deal with those unexpected challenges and setbacks without falling into the trap of blaming ourselves or feeling like we failed at this whole bending reality thing?
That's a great question, and one we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll discuss how to navigate the complexities of life, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, and cultivate a mindset of resilience and adaptability.
Welcome back to our final exploration of bending reality.
We've come a long way.
We have.
Talking about the power of thoughts and beliefs and actions,
shaping our experiences.
Right, but life isn't always a perfectly curated vision board.
Absolutely not.
Things happen.
They do.
We can't control everything.
How do we reconcile this whole idea then of shaping our reality with the reality that sometimes things just don't go our way.
Well, I think it starts with shifting our perspective.
Okay.
Instead of viewing challenges as failures or punishments,
right.
What if we saw them as opportunities, for growth and learning?
Okay. I like that reframing.
Yeah.
Takes the sting out of it.
It does.
Allows us to approach those things with more curiosity and resilience.
Right.
But it's easier said than done.
It is.
So how do we actually cultivate that mindset when we're in the thick of a difficult situation?
Well, it's not always easy.
Right.
But remember those concepts of surrender and trust we were discussing earlier?
Yeah.
I think this is where they become really important.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that sometimes the best course of action is to let go of our need to control every outcome.
Okay.
And trust that there might be a bigger picture unfolding, even if we can't see it yet.
Yeah. So it's about surrendering to the flow of life.
Yes.
While still actively participating in shaping our reality.
Exactly. It's a dance between effort and allowing.
Right.
Between taking action and trusting the journey.
And this is where gratitude and presence can be such powerful allies.
Oh, absolutely.
Even amidst challenges, we can choose to focus on what we're grateful for.
Right.
Find those moments of peace and joy in the present moment.
Gratitude helps us shift our focus away from what's lacking and towards what we already have.
Okay.
And that can create, a much more positive and resourceful internal state.
Right. And presence or mindfulness allows us to stay grounded in the present moment.
Yes.
Which can reduce stress and anxiety.
Absolutely.
Enable us to respond to life's challenges with more clarity and composure.
You got it. It's not about denying or suppressing difficult emotions, but rather creating space for them.
Okay.
While also cultivating that sense of inner peace and stability.
So it sounds like bending reality is less about manipulating the external world.
Right.
And more about cultivating a resilient and adaptable mindset.
I agree.
That allows us to navigate the ups and downs of life.
Yes.
With more grace and strength.
Beautifully said. True power comes not from controlling every outcome, but from cultivating an internal state of peace, clarity, and resilience that allows us to thrive in any circumstance.
I love that.
Okay.
As we wrap up our deep dive into bending reality, I'm left with this thought. Perhaps the most powerful way to bend reality is to bend our own internal world, to cultivate a mindset of gratitude, presence, and trust, knowing that even though we can't control everything, we always have the power to choose how we respond to life's challenges.
And in that choice, we discover the true potential of shaping our reality.
Yeah.
Not through force or manipulation, but through the transformative power of our own minds and hearts.
It's empowering to remember that we always have a choice.
We do.
In how we shape our experiences, even when things feel beyond our control.
Yeah.
So as you go out into your world, remember to be kind to yourselves, embrace the journey, and never underestimate the power of your own mind to create a reality that is truly your own.
Beautiful.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep bending reality in ways that make your heart sing.